Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's cold, I'm wearing a hat from a 90s boy band, so let's just get on with it. Today's about the new BMW 4 Series. There it is. It's a 52 grand car because this is the M440i. This one has 8 grand of options. Let's just get on with it before my nose falls off and I turn into a bald snowman with a silly hat. It's fair to say that the new BMW 4 Series has already got quite a bit of a reputation on the internet by armchair keyboard warrior types who think they know lots about car design, because it's got more grille than Texas on a sunny Sunday. There's no point beating around the bush, that's probably what you're here to talk about, and let's just get on with the grille chat so you can be mean about it in the comments. Were you a bully at school? I bet you were. This M440i has the Shadowline Plus pack, which is about 500 quid. And it turns all the chrome into black stuff, including the grille, which I think, in black on a black car, looks quite good. I mean, you'll probably hate me in the comments for saying this, but it kind of almost disappears a bit, doesn't it? And when you do see it, it's kind of menacing. You've got these two big halves, like big fangs. It's a bit weird that they've put the radar in one half of it. I guess they couldn't split it between the two. So it is a bit lopsided. You've got camera there. No, it's not a camera, it's a parking sensor, sorry. You've got sensors there. And it kind of falls apart a little bit when you stick a massive British number plate across the front of it. Without that, it's very imposing. But with it, it kind of blends in a bit. And I think if you had a silver one on a lighter coloured car, that's when you start to really, really notice it. But on this car, I don't mind it. Under the bonnet, the M440i has a 3-cylinder straight 6 engine with 374 horsepower and 500 newtons of torque. It's also got some mild hybrid stuff and some purple cables, but I didn't know about the mild hybrid stuff until I read the press release, which probably tells you all you need to know about how effective that is. But let's just be happy there's still a 6-cylinder BMW. It's just proper, isn't it? Apart from the fake carbon fibre on the engine cover, that's a little bit silly. But honestly, at some point, these cars will probably just go 4-cylinder, and that'll be quite sad. So yeah, I know this has got 4-wheel drive, which might upset the purists, but when it comes to that in the driving section, trust me, it's not bad. Now, while most people are losing their minds about the grille and the abomination that is, I think the biggest design miss on the new 4 Series is kind of this bit here, the rear haunch. There's something about design which makes it look for all the world like the back grille is smaller than the front and it's parked on a slope, even when it's not. I thought the same thing about the 2 Series Grand Coupe. There's a video up on Drive Tribe, go and check it out. And I think this kind of suffers the same fate. It just doesn't look very nice back there. Let's check out the back. I think the new 4 Series looks its best kind of from this angle, to be honest. All these lines swoop down and meet and it's quite tidy and svelte. There's an M limited slip differential under there because it's the M440i. And the rear wheels are 23mm wider than on all the 3 Series is to make it look more butch. Round the back, you've got twin exhausts to help the engine breathe. You've got an X-Drive badge to say it's 4-wheel drive, because all the M440is are 4-wheel drive. And the M440i badge says, I've bought the fastest one that's not an M4, which I'll be driving next month, so stay tuned for that. The boot on this car is electrically opening as part of the optional comfort pack, I think. Oh, there's some stuff I forgot about in the boot. It's not a bale of drugs. I think it's a child's bedroom stool. 440 litres of space, easy to remember, 440i, 440 litres of space. I think I've got it right for once. And it's quite useful space. It's deep that way, quite shallow that way, so it's quite easy to lift things in and out of. And it's not too compromised by being a coupe. Right, that's enough about the back. Let's go and check out the interior where it's warm and red. Spoiler alert. Now, obviously the 4 Series is the coupe version of the 3 Series, so backseat access is harder because you've only got 2 doors. However, I'm going to put my dignity very much on the line, probably show you my bum, and I'm going to try and get in the back, which I've not tried yet, so this will be fun. You lean the seat forward and you wait for the electrics to slowly take it forward. Slowly, slowly. And now begins the worst moment of my life on YouTube. I might edit this bit out. Ugh. Ah. That wasn't actually too bad. I can immediately tell you there's no headroom for 6-footers. Let's put the seat back. This is very Matt Watson, isn't it? The feet slowly getting crushed. Actually, legroom is not that bad. That's in my driving position, which could go forward a bit more. I'm quite tall. Yeah, headroom is a problem. Visibility is decent. I've actually had my daughter front facing, which she doesn't normally do. But obviously you can't do rear facing one of these unless you are the kind of person that can bend themselves in many ways. And she can see out, even though she's only 2 years old. So that's quite good. Little pockets on the back of the seats, and you've got USB-Cs down here and vent controls for your rear passengers. But as an adult, you wouldn't want to go far back here. I'll tell you that for nothing. Right, can I go up the front now? Because my neck hurts. Now, while we're up front, it's worth noting that the 4 Series is only available in M Sport trim level in the UK. So you don't have to really worry about missing too much stuff. That said, obviously there are still option packs. The technology pack is £3,650 and it adds a ton of stuff, like the head-up display. And you might think you've seen head-up displays, pretty cool, shows the speed and stuff. And then you switch the sat-nav on in this, and it's like a widescreen techno fest in the windscreen, and it's brilliant. It shows you everything you need to know about where you're going, which lane you need to be in. It's the best head-up display I've ever used. BMW are killing the world of head-up displays at the moment. You also get wireless charging. You also get the calm and harden sound system. I said that the wrong way around. I've been saying calm and hard on too many years. It's the Harman Kardon sound. I'm just going to read it. It's the Harman Kardon sound system. You get the fancy M steering wheel, heated as an option. The button is there. It's lovely in here, to be honest. The infotainment is just easy to use because it's iDrive. If I'm picking niggles, the shift paddles, a bit plasticky, but they're the same ones that were on the M5 I had last week, I think. We need to start a campaign for metal shift paddles. The optional gesture control is kind of annoying. Like, you can go like this to change radio stations. 5 Live, BBC Asian, Atlantis. What the hell's Atlantis? Asian FX? No, I just want Radio 2. Give me Ken Bruce, Popmaster. Anyway, and you can turn it up and down like that. But it always turns up a bit more than you want, or down a bit more than you want. It's been slightly gimmicky for years, but hey, it's there as an option if you want it. Otherwise, it's very nice. The red leather is quite red leathery. I quite like it. It's not black for once, which is quite nice in the interior. But obviously, the main reason you're buying a 4 Series is because it's going to be nice to drive. Let's go and drive the bloody car, you man in a hat. Stop talking and go and drive. Right, let's go for a drive in the M440i. I don't need that. The boy band has broken up because Justin was a dickhead. Right, it starts with a 6-cylinder growl. It bongs at you in typical BMW fashion to tell you that, I don't know, you've turned it on or you've done something. I've activated the gesture control already. That's going to annoy me. And let's go. So, adaptive dampers are standard on the M440i. Let's stick it in comfort mode and on the usual broken bit of track. It's comfortable. It's really comfortable. I've been really impressed, having had this car for a week, with how it rides. It just feels, I don't know, it doesn't feel hard for sportiness sake. It just feels well judged. And I really like it. I got straight out of an M5 into this, and within 100 meters, this felt a lot more comfortable and a lot better resolved as a driving thing. Even the steering feels slightly better on this than the M5. It just feels more direct. It feels like an old car. And I think I'm going to say that a lot in this. It feels like an old school BMW in the very best of ways. Everything just works as it should. Right, junction of doom. How long am I going to wait here? I'm in Surrey, so I've had to wait for an XC90 and now a Porsche. Right, let's go. The 6-cylinder sounds great. It is fake, some of it, but I don't mind it, to be honest. It feels natural, and you always are aware that you're in something with a powerful engine, and you just get that nice sense that you've got lots of power in reserve, like you did in old 6-cylinder BMWs, which would just cruise along. And this is like doing 1500 RPM at 40 miles an hour on top, which is very relaxing. Actually, I'm not on top. That is a lie. The 8-speed gearbox is in 6th. There we go. It's quiet as well, as you would imagine. It's very nice. That rattling you can hear is my child seat in the back. One thing I didn't mention, which I'll talk about briefly before we get to the fun stuff, is that the technology pack gives you what is basically a dash cam built into the car. Now, because all these cars have 360-degree cameras these days, they can actually record that footage and you can save it onto a USB stick if you have a crash, or if you just want to record the last 2 minutes or so of your drive, and it gives you all the different camera views. Octavia VRS, untastefully modified. Sorry, you've let me down. But yeah, back to the actual driving. For pootling, this is wonderful. That gesture control is going to make me hit the screen with an axe before I finish this. Right, let's get out to my twisted road and we will talk about le handling and l'acceleration. I can't remember what the German for acceleration is. Hochgeschwindigkeit machen. Now, obviously you have driving modes selected using buttons down here. You've got Sport, Comfort, Eco, Pro and Adaptive. If you press Sport, you then get Sport, Sport Plus or Individual. I've got it in Individual, which, because I'm a legend, I've set up to be comfortable but fast. So I'm going to lock the gearbox into manual. Second gear, 30 miles an hour, going into a 60. Does it feel fast? Yeah, 60. It feels really quick. It feels much quicker than you would think from your on-paper figures. That four-wheel drive really does help punt it down the road, and it's snowing at the moment and it's a bit damp, and I've got more confidence in the front end than I had in the M5, which just wants to send all the power to the back wheels. This, even in the sporty modes, doesn't really slide around much unless you turn stability control off. There's no M dynamic mode on this because it's not an M car, it's just got a slightly slackened version, which isn't really set up for sportiness, but it feels good, it feels natural, and you do get a bit of push from the back out of corners. In terms of overtaking, this thing's a bit of a weapon. I can't because there's double solid white lines here. It's got so much torque and so much grunt, and it's all really easily accessible, and it sounds quite nice. Yeah, really like this. While we're on the subject of the four-wheel drive, I've driven this in some proper heavy snow this week to do childcare runs. Childcare runs, did I just do that? I wasn't deliberate, I'm sorry. And the four-wheel drive system, when you're in comfort mode, just helps you. It just gets you to where you need to go without any fuss or muss. It just gets you out of icy roads without any scrabbling, without any traction intervention, and it just goes. I took it to a deserted car park to see what it was like in sporty modes with the system switched off, and it does skids. It does do skids. So don't go thinking that it is a pure boring four-wheel drive car, because it isn't. I'm in sporty modes. Sporty modes. Right, in sport traction. See, that is with one press of the traction button. It will let back step out a bit, but it's not terrifying. Because you've always got that four-wheel drive as a backup. It's not like the M5 where you're like, has this disconnected the front drive shafts? Body control is really good. Over the bumps, mid-corner, it doesn't unsettle it. Like I say, this feels incredible. You might dismiss this as not being an M car and just being a 4 Series, but go and try one out because you'll be very surprised. Right, that's probably enough waffling about the way this drives. Back to you, Tim, for an outro. So, is the new BMW 4 Series more than just a divisive face? Well, yeah, certainly an M440, guys. It's a really, really nice car to drive, more than perhaps faster BMWs that I've had recently, like the M5. This just feels more at home in its skin, as controversial as the skin might be. It could be a comfortable tourer, it can be a sporty coupe thing. Straight six makes a great noise, it's a classic BMW recipe. The four-wheel drive system adds to the fun rather than takes away from it. And it's just a really lovely complete package. Just, obviously it's not as practical as the 3 Series because of the rear headroom. Would I have one? Yes, I would, mostly to trigger people on the internet. But I think we'll get used to this in time, and once the M4 is out, then, well, that's probably going to be bloody brilliant. I can just predict it now, and we're going to have to get used to that face. I know BMW says they're doing this just to be different, but it's the future, isn't it? Whether you like it or not. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit my snowy bell, and I'll see you very soon. But not in a winter wonderland.